what you get from the candidate, they all say the same thing. I don't agree with that, otherwise I'd stop coming to them. I would like to believe that the candidates need to be educated to the fact that hundreds of thousands of children today are in private school in our community, taking millions, possibly billions of dollars off of the city's rolls, pressure.
Right.
The city's comment has always been, hey, it's your right, you're doing it, go right ahead. And we seem to be stuck on a treadmill. The pittance that we do get from the city, we fight for very hard. Small priority 5, priority 7 for the lowest income families, the most desperate, the city took away. Like Leon said, school busing, they took away. I mean, we're talking about fighting over very little. What does Joe Lhota say to the hundreds of thousands of parents all across the city in private schools, not just Jewish, Catholic, Muslim, whoever? What does Joe Lhota say to them to convince them that you would be their candidate?
Thank you for the question. There are 300,000 students in private schools in New York City. And if those 300,000 students tomorrow turned up in the public schools because the private schools of whatever kind disappeared, the city of New York's education system would not be able to absorb them. They cannot, be able to absorb them. Here's what I believe. I have always been a believer in vouchers. I also understand that I could talk about vouchers until I'm blue in the face. I will continue to do that. I won't drop talking about it. But I'm not sure I'm going to get the action as quickly as possible in Albany to be able to take advantage of vouchers. Those parents who send their children to other than public school be able to get a voucher. Actually, all parents should get a voucher. Public school as well. Spend the money at the school that you want. That being said, I am a huge supporter of the bill that went through the state Senate this past session, put forward by Senator Marty Golden of Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, where he was giving a tax credit to parents who send their children to other than public schools. So he phrased it in a way that it captured all of the parents who send their children to whether it's a Catholic school or a yeshiva or Greek Orthodox, doesn't matter. And the state assembly did not bring it to the floor. They need to bring it to the floor. I am convinced that there will be enough members of the assembly, majority of the assembly, to push that bill forward so we can put it on Governor Cuomo's desk, so we can sign it and pass it. To me, it is a very, very important thing. I said before, I grew up going to a parochial school in the Bronx. My very first lobbying effort was in 1963, 64. First time I ever went to Albany, I went up there with a lot of other kids and faculty and more important leaders in the community saying that you can't cut back funding to the parochial schools, which also included the yeshivas at the time. They started way back then, cutting back, cutting back, cutting back. Look, it's not a separation of church and state issue at all. We're not talking about funding religious programs. History is history. Public safety is public safety. Public health is public health. Transportation is exactly that. It's transportation. There are lots of things that we can do. So what do I tell the parents, specifically to your question? I tell them that I am on their side. I am a parent as well as a product of parochial schools. My daughter went to a private school. I understand the burdens. And I also understand that you're not getting any of the benefits for the taxes you pay to exercise your right of free choice. Anybody who says it's your choice, therefore you should get nothing for it, doesn't understand the way America works. Just because we exercise a right to have choice doesn't mean we don't participate in the economics. I've never understood that concept. I have a significant problem with people who basically say that. But I do believe that I'm a parent as well as a product of these schools, and I'm with the current parents as well. We have to find a way to integrate, not in an administrative way, but in a financial way, all of the private schools in New York. Now, I don't blame you for saying that, politicians come in and say what you want to hear. Somebody should ask me a question that I will disagree with, and I'll tell you what I think. I have no problem with that. I just can't lie.